going forward, we are seeing a very strong festive season on the ground. You look at two-wheeler sales, you look at consumer durable sales, has been at high double-digit growth. And we are now seeing government capex also picking up meaningfully, with state and central both getting into action. In fact, the large part of this capex slowdown was on the roads and the rail side, and we have seen meaningful amount of pickup on the rail side, which I think augurs quite well for earnings growth, at least for the third quarter. So we definitely expect third quarter to be much better than the first and the second quarter, where earnings growth was just around 3 to 4%. We have seen significant amount of earnings downgrade already in most of the companies across the board. And to that extent, given the valuations were pretty high, we have seen corrections in valuation as well. So we do believe that with FIS selling likely to abate going forward, we are already, from almost $1 billion FIS selling a day, we're now down to close to about 200 to $300 million of selling a day. We do expect that to come off as valuations have become slightly more reasonable.
Okay, the currency weakness right now, what does that indicate to you, Niket, at this juncture? And there's obviously the growing calls of how the RBM has cut rates, but the governor's point is also important to be taken on board, where he still sees upside risk to inflation, not just in India, but globally as well.
That's correct. So we do expect rupee to remain in the range of 84 to 85 rupees to a dollar. We do expect inflation to remain quite stickier at this point in time. One should also keep in mind that India also took a tariff hike on telecom this year. Telecom contributes about 2% weightage to the inflation basket, and you took and most of them have taken between 15 to 20% hike on telecom tariffs. So which incrementally means 40 basis points of inflation only coming from that single line item. We are likely to see one more tariff hike closer to April or May of next year, which means that their inflation will continue to remain quite elevated as we get into early next year as well.